All right. Heat number 2 for round 3 of the Pat's Acres Super Series League. This one is going to be a frustrating one. Well, at least for me. I guess it was better for the other drivers. So, if you hadn't watched Heat 1, didn't go so well for me. Lost a number of positions right off the bat early in the race and couldn't claw back very much at all. So, I believe I'm starting somewhere in the realm of P16, 14 or 16, around there. Hard to know exactly because, as I mentioned in the prior video, the transponder timing system for these karts was not working, and so they had to hand score every race. So we didn't have the usual printouts with our results that I can normally use to identify exactly where I'm starting. So, with that being said, starting about mid-pack, there's roughly 29 drivers out, and being in the mid-pack, at least on this track, going to turn 1 and 2, is always a little bit rowdy. It's not where you want to be. Just hoping to make it through the first couple laps cleanly, stay on the black stuff, and try to pick off as many positions as I possibly can. Unfortunately, I am not driving a very good kart. As you'll see in this race, the kart was really struggling to turn right. Thankfully, there's only 2 kind of key right-handers, but it leaves you very vulnerable coming out of both of them. So I lost a number of positions, as you'll see, because of that, and then also had a bit of an incident where I was squeezed off track and ended up damaging the front end of the kart, which only made the turning issue worse. So not a great race for me here. I was pretty frustrated just how the first heat went, so I was really just trying to have a mind of a goldfish, forget about it, and just put my head down and do my best in this race. So here, as we come up to the start-finish line, looking for the green flag, and we're off. All right, so as you can see, that's 3, about to be 4 karts just walking by me on the start. Not a very good start for me. This is a key hairpin on the opening laps. A little bit of movement, some jostling around, mostly kept together. Props for that driver in blue for not spinning out there. Lose another couple positions, so not off to a great start. So as you can see, we're still going 2 wide, 3 wide into these corners. Very tight racing all night. It's a lot of fun, but quite a bit of jostling and bumping, which to a certain extent is to be expected and totally fine. But yeah, people were definitely getting their elbows out. So you just saw coming out of the carousel, that right-hander. I just am getting a lot of understeer, which leaves me super vulnerable on that straight before the final corner. You saw there the driver with the black and red helmet just walked by me as soon as we exited the final corner. So a bit unfortunate. Make up 1 position due to a mistake there. Trying to hold on to it though. Alright, here we go into River 1 and River 2. Pretty good. The kart was feeling great for all the left-handers, but you can see here it's just really struggling to get around. A lot of understeer and just pushing those fronts along the track just slows you down. So I realized I was in sort of a compromised kart. You can see the big gap I have to the leading group. So yeah, I knew I wasn't going to be pushing for the front of the grid here, but just trying to minimize my losses going into the final race. Here is where things go south. I can only assume it was a mistake. They didn't realize I was alongside them. But unfortunately, the result was pretty bad. Both my wrists hurt quite a bit. You can see me shaking it out. Just slammed down. These karts have no suspension. Basically launched right off that curb. So a bit unfortunate. And he actually did not get a penalty for that. For some reason, the race director felt like I did not lose any positions. As you can see, I'm 5 positions further back now, so I'm not sure how that decision was made, but it's all good. Mind of a goldfish, moving on as soon as I can get my wrists feeling normal. You can also see, too, my front fairing is all messed up now. So, yeah, that's contributing to just continued kart issues, especially turning right. You can start to see the understeer is even worse now as I lose another position. All right. So, right there, River 1. It's a fun corner. It's high speed. You don't really need to brake into it. You do need to time your turn in. I do see a lot of people turning into that a little early. As you see some friendly camaraderie there, giving a thumbs up after a little love tap. Good to see it. Yeah, so I do see a lot of people turning into River 1 a little early, and when you do that, you run out of track on the exit pretty quickly. So you really want to time that so that you can use the full width of the track, but you're not having to catch the kart before you dip a tire into the dirt there. Able to make up another position, again, due to a mistake, not due to merit, and pushed a little wide. That's racing. It's all good. I tend to just ignore hand motions and such while we're in the heat of the moment while racing, but I think that was fair enough. Again, you can just see how he pulls away coming out of carousel. Unfortunate. So that final turn is another one too that I think I see a lot of people turning in early on. So I like to tell people slow in, fast out, and I think that's the final corner is a good, perfect example of where that's so necessary, because if you mess up that corner, you are basically a sitting duck down the full front straight, and becomes an easy overtake for those behind you. So it's really important to nail that corner, not take too much speed and carry wide, or have to catch the kart, or even hit the barriers. You can see I'm using the full width of the track there, just barely staying out of the dirt, still struggling with understeer, and a little frustrated now. My night is not going well. I am currently probably in the 20s, probably P20, 22. Not looking good with 2 laps to go. But look how beautiful it is. Absolutely gorgeous sunset. The ospreys were flying around. And again, I love Pat's Acres. It's a beautiful facility. Great track. If not, a little frustrating at times. So now I'm pretty much just on my own, just trying to get some decent laps in. I think while, in the heat of this race, I had hopes of catching the driver up ahead. I'm not sure if that's realistic, but hey, gotta be chasing down someone. It's kind of funny, the barriers there on the final corner were actually pretty tight, tighter than they normally are. But after just, a session or two, those have been sufficiently pushed back. Some course maintenance there by some bumping on the exit of the final corner. I'm not complaining though. It makes that corner, you can carry quite a bit of speed through it if the barriers are not too tight. So as you saw there, as I came through the start-finish line, this is white flag, last lap. One of the things I'm working on is not looking behind me as much, and I think I did a pretty good job this session, really not constantly looking over my shoulder, and it's good. You got to tune in with your ears a little bit more, but I do think that the advice is sound. You keep your focus forward and minimize your mistakes. There's the checkered flag and an unhappy Spencer. So, that's how it goes sometimes. The only race that matters is the final race, and definitely have some work to do. Going to be starting roughly P24, 25, somewhere around there. I know I was like 3 or 4 karts from the back, but you know, here's to hoping that my final kart is a rocket ship and I'm able to work my way through the field. Well, as always, thanks for riding along with me, and I hope that you'll join me for the final race of the night. Thanks everyone for listening. It's really encouraging to hear positive feedback about these videos, and yeah, just very appreciative of you guys enjoying them.